Thank you, Michael. Welcome, everyone. Just getting into the West Virginia game was good, at least last week, Monday through Thursday, to get some extra work on West Virginia, as well as some extra work trying to improve really every part of our game and what we're doing, and compete against each other a little bit as well to try and stay sharp and up with the speed and all. Goes into this game here with West Virginia coming here this week, a team that's playing really well. They were up on Maryland at halftime, I want to say 38-0 just last week, but a team that is first in the country, I think, in points allowed and turnover margin. So really playing well. Coach Holgerson and his staff do an excellent job. Tony Gibson, their D coordinator, is doing an excellent job too. So like always, they got a good quarterback. Skylar Howard, just another one that Dana's had through the years, really throws it well. Big time receiver in Gibson, good solid running back too with Smallwood. All good players. Joseph, excellent player there at safety for them. Makes a lot of tackles, plays, interceptions. I think he's leading the country in interceptions. But so anyway, a team that plays physical, plays really well. We've got a great deal of respect for them, of course, and so we'll, hopefully make strides here this week in our practice and in the way we're playing to make some improvement and give ourselves the best opportunity here this weekend.
Is it just experience with this defense? 'Cause I know over the summer Holgerson said he thinks this is the best defense that he's ever coached. Is it experience, or is it some of the new guys that they've brought in, or what?
It's probably always a combination of both. Usually, your better defenses have more experience, on the field, and time on the field usually makes a big difference, just with your communication and understanding of the defense and understanding what offenses are trying to do to you.
How's the secondary approach practice after giving up so many yards against Tulsa?
They've practiced well. Been working hard on it.
Bob, what did Samaje show you guys last year when you played them, particularly that second half?
Well, just what Samaje does, just his ability to run, his ability to. For a guy that's that big and powerful, he has such a unique ability to slide and and to skip out of into holes and out of holes and out of tackles and then to absorb the hits that he does as well and give out the hits that he does. He just as you've seen over and over with him, he's a pretty special running back, and that was a big night for him.
Ford got hurt. But is that the night you guys figure out, well, wait a minute, this guy could be a 25, 30 carry game back?
Oh, probably. That's probably fair to say that, yes, that's when you really first saw it, to that extent.
Bob, you got 9 straight weeks of Big 12 games. Do you like that, or do you wish there was a bye somewhere in that stretch?
It doesn't really matter. The schedules are made that you go, you go play it. I don't pay any attention to it. So. That's the way we have it. Sometimes, too, if you get on a good roll, you don't want a bye week. You get in a rhythm of playing, and sometimes that can be good.
Are you healthy up front now, Bob, where you have Neela and
Yes, Ty and Neela are expected to practice here today, and should have all the guys really back.
Bob, Dana's offense, he's always been able to take the air raid stuff and add a really strong run element. Is that sort of what you want the offense here to look like with Samaje and Joe? Is like that West Virginia offense at its peak?
Well, I wouldn't pattern it there. I would like to have some of the principles. I would like to have a strong running game, with what we're able to do passing. So I don't know if you want to label it to them, but whatever. I mean, you can.
I guess I just mean he's an example of a guy who's made it work with this system.
No, it's fair to say he has, definitely. He's always had a strong running game to go with their ability to throw.
Bob, what's between the Tulsa game and the West Virginia game coming up, and all the different offenses that college football has now, especially in the Big 12? When you walk out of a game, what's a good result for the defense? What's an acceptable number or statistic, or what's your goal to reach?
A win. I think TCU's pretty satisfied with their win last weekend. So you win whatever. Like I said, too, the week before at Tennessee, we won a different way. You win differently every week, and that's why it's a team. When I say, and I say it a lot about playing together as a team, that's what I mean by it. One side of the ball doesn't win or lose for you. It's always a combination. And so a team win any way you can get it.
Does it make it that much harder in this day and age when offenses are throwing for 600, 700 yards?
Well, it does.
To get a win because they can.
Well, you've got to be able to hold serve and do it as well. So I said I reflect back. I have often. I said it today on my radio show. I reflected back to the bowl game with Michigan State and Baylor. Michigan State comes in, one up top defense in America, gave up 600 yards of passing to Baylor, but still won 42-41 because they had theirs as well. So you've got to, it's challenging, and you've got to hold serve, and you got to find ways to win as a team.
How pleased have you been with, in that vein, of the job that Lincoln has done as offensive coordinator of finding, spreading the ball around, using the running game, winning however?
I like the direction it's going in, but let's face it, we've had some spotty moments too. We can't forget 3 quarters at Tennessee. So it all has to keep improving, and I'm not at all upset about it. I feel we're going to keep going in a positive direction. I feel like we are. I feel like we'll make improvement, and so I'm very pleased with what Lincoln and all the offensive guys are doing. But it still has to come. Has to be more consistent and has to keep improving if we're gonna, have a chance to have a really good year.
Coach, you're going up against a pretty good defense. How important are things like third down conversions, keeping your offense on the field, and playing the field position game going to be in this game coming up?
It's critical. It's always critical to stay on the field, keep the other offense down, move the ball, gain field position, score points. That's what you're out there trying to do. So we've got to do it. Hopefully, keep improving as we do it.
You mentioned West Virginia's turnover margin. What about you guys and takeaways and just the importance of that?
Yeah, just the same thing. We've fumbled the ball in the last few games, and we've had the ball out at Tennessee. Didn't get it out last week. So we've got to do our best to try and hawk the ball and get to turnovers. And again, when we have the football, we need to keep to protect it and keep it.
Safe to say that when the kids turn the film on, that there's no looking ahead to Texas because they can see what these guys can do.
Absolutely. No, West Virginia's a really good football team. Dana has them playing really well. They always play physical, play hard. It's a good-looking team.
We talked last week about the early morning kick in terms of the atmosphere, but what does it do for recruiting when you're bringing kids in from like California and Georgia who are playing really late Friday night and trying to get them here on time? Does it affect anything?
Last week it didn't. They were all here, enjoyed the game, and all went to my house for recruiting dinner afterwards. You can't come to my house and have a recruiting dinner at 2 in the morning when you play a night game. So,
does it matter
so hopefully they liked being over at my house, and so it seemed to be positive.
When Alabama loses a game, people didn't see them losing. Tech challenges TCU in a way where maybe people didn't see. I guess I'm asking, does it seem wide open out there? Maybe it seems wide open every year, but
it's been fairly wide open. A lot of different.
Great teams anymore? I mean,
I think there's more great teams. I think there's more really good teams anymore.
Did you get a chance to catch any of those?
And I think that's where, that's where a lot more and more of the parity's coming from. There's more and more teams, I think, that are doing things really well. I'm sorry.
No. Did you get a chance to catch any of those teams on Saturday?
I watched some, yeah. I skipped around probably like everybody does, and, try and keep up with as many as you can.
Future opponents?
I mean, what do you mean?
Like Oklahoma State, Texas, for instance.
I watched part of it, sure. Yeah, good game. Bunch of big defensive plays. And
strange finish. Did you catch that?
I did. Yeah, that was.
I
I don't know.
Rivals, but what are your thoughts on how a game ends like that? A punter standing back by the 8-yard line.
Oh, you know, it's just like last year with you know, with Michael. You know, had a game or two where you feel for him. You know, you put your arm around them, and they're young people that do the best they can, and you know, out there playing for their school, and you just gotta let them know you appreciate them. You know, they're doing the best they can.
Bob, did Jordan Thomas have a better week last week? I know you need him on board.
He did. He practiced well last week, and you know, should be in a position to hopefully help us and make a difference this week.
You gonna start him?
We'll see how the week goes.
Stephen was in a little bit earlier. Coach, can you talk about his progress? I mean, you've been really pleased with it. Is he
Stephen's
continuing to improve?
Great. I mean, yeah, he's a young guy that's only going to keep getting better. He's incredibly talented, very bright. He's become a leader in just how hard he works and how serious he is about the game and playing better. So, I believe Stephen's got a major upside. That he's already really good, but I think he's going to only keep getting better. He covers, he's fast. He covers, he understands, he tackles well. He's had a few pressures and sacks already. Had a strip that, well, again, wasn't called a strip, but, you know, he's searching the ball out. So he's doing a lot of things really well.